It would be a waste to not see this go to 3 maps. So much on the line between these two teams. Their legacy spans years, players, roster changes, team changes. But no matter the org, no matter the event, this is the one that matters. This is the one that gives them that gateway into the next level, that gives them the shot at what they all want.
Yeah, right. I mean, 10 women go into the server, right? And they're all going to be getting money in some shape or form, but there's only 5 slots available at that event. 1 team, that's it. That's all that goes through. And that is the real prize here, right? You get to go to DreamHack Open Rotterdam and compete. And I mean, what a stepping stone that could be for some of these teams as well. And I feel like it's so great that both of these rosters are the 2 here in this final, because these are some of the most recognizable names that have been around for ages, grinding their way through, mixed in with some of the young bloods, right? Some of the lesser known. And it's like the perfect culmination of years of effort.
All coming down to this.
And yeah, now it all comes down to this, exactly. Inferno, map 3. We had 2 pretty dominant affairs to kickstart this grand final. For those of you who are just tuning in, Vertigo was the first map. That was the map pick of CLG Red, and Besiktas, they upset somewhat with a victory there. Not one that we expected. Mirage, however, much more one-sided in favor of CLG Red. They picked up an incredibly dominant victory. Inferno is the middle ground map. Inferno is a map that both of these teams feel comfortable on and have looked good on at this event. So without further ado, let's get into it. The final map in this grand final, Inferno, about to be underway.
This was the map that denied Besiktas the shot in Copenhagen, that pushed CLG Red through to those final stages. Surely can be remembered, the knife round was won by CLG Red. They choose to start up on that CT side, and this is what it comes down to. Excellent flash to second mid, but it doesn't matter. The kill came in for Petra, so instantly Jen gets put right back down to place.
Yeah, immediately they try and go in with some of that kind of signature CLG Red disrespect off the start, and they get a harsh reminder of who they're up against in this map. You might have just taken a dominant victory, and Vertigo might have seemed like it was years away, but this is not a team you want to mess around with. So now sat 5 on 4 up. Smoke gonna fall over towards Moto. And
this is a really big fake play that if CLG Red had watched their previous games, that was the set play that worked really well for them in their previous matchups, and they went and worked off the back of it towards A. This is them adjusting under the assumption that CLG Red would know that smoke signified the same hit that they used previously in their last couple of matchups for Besiktas. That gives them this 3 plant towards B. That's so well thought of. Now Diane on the retake with Cap still have plenty of potential with the drive-by, down to a 2v2 now.
Yeah, Dai's got the kit, so there's time here for CLG Red, but they need to find these kills. They don't have any utility to force these gunfights, and Misa and Krasny, they're just hiding. They tap the bomb, try and draw players out of the open. Krasny now spotted. Misa yet to make her presence known over in CT, and CLG Red, they're wondering. Besiktas, they're like phantoms. They've disappeared. Finally, Dai gets one. She taps the bomb. Krasny's not peeking it. She swings wide, and Krasny hits the flick as she jumps away. It comes down to the wire, but Besiktas, they take that pistol round. And now they can look to build up an early lead here on the T side.
Diane looking a little frustrated at the end of that, just like, okay. I don't blame her, that was rough. But 1-0, Besiktas with the first strike on the board, but it means nothing in the grand scheme of things. You've got such a long run. Now let's look at the rebuy coming up from CLG Red. They've gone back up on Deagles, Scouts. They need to get these tags, get these picks. Hope they don't get overrun by that quick pace that could come out. But it's not too quick from the Ts. They've got a couple of rifles, 3 to be precise, 2 SMGs to supplement. They've got plenty of utility to play with. So Besiktas are in no hurry here. They're looking for that opening pick, but they have to go with caution.
Yeah, just this early default for the T side as they do grab control of top mid and the apartments. And getting it so early on in the round and using so little utility, they're going to be very thankful for this foothold from here. They can try and keep these players, at the very least, with their attention fixated over in top mid. You just keep that pressure on, but no, Juliana's going to go through. Flash lined up. It's good, and she'll get them both. The Mach 10 roaring to life. And that's this A bomb site cracked wide open. Just Emmy here. She's tried to sneak by into the apartments. Now she's behind enemy lines, and this could actually be huge.
The bomb carrier did get past, didn't check it at the right timing. Nicely held by Krasi, understanding there could be a player there, reading the map well and understanding everything that's going on. The last two players probably going to just keep these. Head armor and deagle is pretty expensive investment. You can see the hunt beginning, especially for those two SMG players. I'm sure Krasi will join her on this little bit of a look around. You can see Giuliano, a high flash over, trying to find these players. Have a little look. Tag comes in, so they know she's at least going towards the right direction here to get those guns and armor away.
Yeah, now, Misa's actually the next one leading the charge into this B bomb site. You don't want to risk throwing too many of these rifles at these saving players. That said, with three players grouped up here, yeah, Besiktas should be able to take this down, no problem. Ooh, Goose Breeder. Only good for one. So they do manage to get the Deegs and the armor away from CLG Red. They lose a couple of bodies for it, but that seems worth it given that now there's no money for CLG Red in this round. They went for the Force in the last, so round 4 is where we're going to see that initial buy.
Oh, we got the nuke. We got the straight up nuke coming out, and thankfully not the map. We have the nades.
I've never seen this work. Not properly, but I would love... Oh, lots of nades raining down, and they've done damage, but they haven't done enough to get too much worry in the minds of Besiktas just yet, and they're continuing with this. They've got it down to a 2-on-2. They're making this expensive at the very least.
Can they recover the orb? I'm just having a look. Yes, Zaz got that back, so that's still in play, but that has cost them rifles. Very light investment. You got to look at the kind of invested to what they got out of it. Money's now down to a little bit of a lower kind of demeanor for Besiktas, but still perfectly fine to get a purchase in this round. But it has gotten CLG Red a really good foothold now going forward, full utility, and the guns come out. No orb to be seen just yet, but this is where they need to start putting their mark on the board. This is where they need to start their own fight here.
Yeah, and immediately we see this triple B hold, so there is some aggression coming in from CLG Red. These smokes now going down. Actually, one thrown in from Besiktas to try and extinguish that Molotov. Zaz is very fast on that peak. Goose Breeder will get cut down, and banana control taken. That was in spite of the 3-player presence early on towards this sector of the map and the utility that was throwing down. Besiktas still the ones in charge of this region of the map.
Must be a big play coming back in. CLG Red can't do too much just yet there. I think they heard a step towards Apps. You can see 2 players looking towards it, so holding out on this one. Kath still going to try and keep presence towards Banana, but do not feed on this because you still have Misa there. They still have the man advantage. Good flash. Gets you some information. But let's see what Giuliano can do here. The hit is still kind of building towards A. The bomb is left down towards mid, so if there's a bit of a, a disaster somewhere, sure, they could maybe swing around on this, but Jen's starting to lean over as well. 45 seconds, not a great deal of time. They're still looking for a mistake here. You can see the T's just wait and see if anyone overextends to try and even it back up to a 4v4, and no one is. Emmy did really well in pit last time, but she's got a lot of players potentially coming her way. Bomb has been recovered, and it is going to be going down towards that A bomb site. Smoke comes in. Last time they faked on it, now they're hitting on it. Emmy and Dai better be ready for what's coming their way. It's a flood of T players, and here they go. Already on the site, that's one. Dai goes down. Petra denies Emmy. It is swift, and it is brutal from Besiktas.
That is remarkable. They go running into a stacked bomb site and they find all 3 kills in a matter of seconds. I mean, that is just the biggest middle finger to CLG Red that you could possibly give. That's the first rifle round for this CT side. And they were hoping that they had Besiktas' name and number with that stack in the A bomb site. They heard the footsteps, they heard the utility. They know they made the right decision, but they lose every gunfight. And that is just heartbreak for CLG Red. They are at least able to save over on Kath. Gives them a little bit more to work with in this next round. A loss bonus fully built up here for the CT side. So it's likely we see a partial investment around this rifle.
Oh, it was good until he dabbed.
I know, dabbing's cool again.
Is it like become that irony thing?
Yeah, I reckon.
It's gone like full circle.
Yeah, I reckon it has. It went from being like the worst to now it's like, it's back on trend.
It's back on trend. I don't know if I can trust you yet. 4 rounds though, we need to see the answer from CLG Red soon. This is not a map where you see them getting this sort of scoreline against them. They lost to Besiktas on this at Katowice in 2019, so not that long ago. It was just a best of 1 group stage sort of winner's game or deal going on. And that was with Benny still in the roster, so you can imagine that was still a little time ago. Well, Kath came back around. But for Besiktas, we've seen their performance on this map consistently has been good. It's one of their, I wouldn't say their strongest holds, but certainly very, very diligent, incredibly good at it. And a weaker buy, lesser buy for CLG. Try not to invest overly into this one.
And yet for me, the player who now we never really got to see all that much of on Mirage or Vertigo, but I feel like here on Inferno is really where she's really going to come into her own is Petra. We've seen consistently great AWPing performances from her on this map. And I mean, already, you know, like she's kind of finding her footing a bit. She's now got the AWP in play once again. She's set up over in top mid, actually. The rifle's holding on to Banana.
It's a nice little play in, allowing Guy a little bit of room to work on Banana there. That was just off the back of Jen's position, but dismantled swiftly and quite handily by the T side. Kath and Emmy stand quite far away from the action if they decide to hit B. It's GG easy. It looks like that's where they're feeling out. Good read coming in from the Ts. And this should be another one on the board. 5-0 could be the scoreline pretty soon.
Yeah, there was like a few moments of hesitation there where maybe Besiktas were considering moving away from B and maybe reading into it that it was a stack. But I think, you know, now they really, 4v2, it's going to require something marvelous even if they were both here. So they go walking in. They've got the utility to nullify a lot of these angles. And obviously we know these two players are saving over in the A-bomb site. But Besiktas not getting too comfortable. They are very methodical still, despite being 4v2 up in this site take. In spite of the fact there's very little weaponry for CLG Red in this round, they don't want to risk anything they don't have to.
And risk management with Besiktas, that's an interesting concept for such an aggressive team known for that kind of run and gun ability, how powerful they can be. They're showing some real restraint. This is what I got out of those opening games. We weren't sure what caliber we were going to see from them. I think we know now it's high, but Besiktas before probably wouldn't have had to depend on playing as a team as much as they do now. They've really shown that they can be a collective. They aren't just a couple of individuals who are very good. They are a very good team.
I don't know, I mean, for CLG Red, they're going to have another chance at a bye now in this round. Obviously, the last one we saw was in round 4. It does feel very, very weird to be 5-0 into a game, and I've only seen like one full bye. We're heading into round 6. We finally get to see our second from CLG Red.
And you can see Zaz really starting to come into her own. I need to look at the firepower for CLG Red to start delivering too. If you want to look at Emmy, Kath, these sort of players, they're very, very important to this side to actually really come into it. And luckily enough, that nade did not find Zaz. She still stands okay. The second, oh my word, Zaz claiming scalps here. That's Jennifer falling so swiftly. All that utility play being put so into place on Banana, really being heavily fought for.
Yeah, I mean, they try and switch it up, right? They try and finally contest with Zaz down on Banana. They think they've got the solution with the utility stack down into logs. And not only does it not find the kill, but somehow she was able to just jiggle peek the angle and actually pick up the advantage. Now setting up outside of this A-bomb site, but this might not be the end goal here. Bomb still dropped back over in mid, will be retrieved now, and you can see that kind of turn their attention back down towards Banana a little bit, looking curious perhaps to what this B bomb site could have in store.
And we'll see if they go for this. Diane is holding a bit of a deeper angle. She's not actively peeking into middle. She's holding this, quad pick now. She's peeked around. And this is good, really good timing. She spotted 0 players here. So even if Giuliano does something, they could probably send maybe Kath over towards B, because I'm pretty sure Goosebreed is going to need some help here. Yes, Giuliano may be a bit of a ruse, and she's one out as well, which is the scarier factor. Emmy just gets overdone, but it's going to be Goosebreeder with it all to do. Die spots one in pit, but she knows the player's coming towards B. Goosebreeder, what can you do in this one? You've got so many players coming your way. They've taken over the site. The bomb's going to be planted. Tries to go through the spray, through the window, and Die going down means this round looks all but over with Kath falling. Goosebreeder tries to make a dash for it, but Besiktas bringing out their A-game here.
And now 6-0 up, and the terrifying thing is Giuliano still exists over in the back line. That round there, exact same round that we saw Besiktas use early on. which was that fake out from apartments, right? They throw the smoke over in mid, it lands over at Moto, and then Giuliano, she's just drawing them away with those flashbangs, with those smokes. She kept all 3 players for CLG Red in that A bomb site. That's worked twice now for this T side. And the worst thing is, you know that this is conditioning CLG Red so that when they see those smokes, when they see those flashes going in, they have those moments of doubt, right? Is it a fake again, or is this really the commitment? And when you condition a team like that, that is really where you can just look to walk all over them. Because you always can kind of feel like you're one step ahead in those sort of situations.
I need to see the grit now from CLG Red. I need to see it. I hate these buys because they always seem so close, and they get a couple of picks and then it all falls away, and then you're looking down the barrel of a very, very powerful and well-equipped gun in the hands of Besiktas. Giuliano up towards Apps. There is a couple of players here though. She's up in the bedroom. Kath about to walk in. Does she know anything as to what Giuliano's up to? Not sure if she's heard something here, but Giuliano seems aware there could be a potential for someone to have pushed up. See if patience is Kath's virtue as she waits. And the lineup is perfection. Good work from Kath, execution style, falling away from this now. Did the damage fall back, try and find a new spot, because already in the meantime, you're seeing the T side still eyeing up that B banana play. You got Misa kind of leading the forefront here, checking out towards, you know, the old car, having a look towards sandbags. Nothing really presenting, but you do have Goose Breeder here, you do have Jen here. And Jen's the one I get scared of with that Deagle. You know, roll back the years, someone might be sweating bullets.
Well, let's see, can she deliver? Deegan had... Ooh,
good timing.
Okay, yeah, great timing there. 45 seconds left, and you see Goose Breeder's still got smokes. I always love these partial investments. You hold on to as much utility as you can until late in the round, and you just play the delay game, because eventually she has to go through this smoke. And Jennifer, this is where she had to come into her own, but instead they're all getting cut down. Dies flashed off the angle. She can't peek into this. 20 seconds on the clock and she gets smoked off. Her hopes of denying this bomb plant are out the window. They're looking like they're going to be on to another round here, continuing this flawless streak on the T side.
Yeah, Kath so locked out. She did have the weapon. She could have maybe done something, but they're being given so little in this. The smokes are still in play. Having that utility late, just kind of almost playing contact on it, means they have so much left in the tank. Zad's going to find Emmy. Misa towards Die. And it's down to Kath in the 1v4. Not unwinnable, but the time ticking. Outnumbered, outgunned. She puts up a damn good effort, a damn good try. But try she might, Besiktas will not move. They will not be budged. That's 7 in a row.
Yeah, and I mean, over towards that B bomb site, they're going for that delay play. I do think maybe a bit of an error in how those two players were positioned in terms of being able to trade off one and actually utilize the fact that you're making Besiktas run into a bomb site blind. There was no one who could actually peek the players running out of that smoke. Jen did try, but she somewhat missed the timing, and just a few unfortunate details here and there making all the difference. Way down towards the T ramp, and all get wounded.
Nice utility damage as Petra and Zaz being taken a little bit lower. Giuliano starting to work through Boiler here. It looks like a quick piece, maybe a bit of a Boiler burst coming out towards A, but they haven't been that impatient. I wouldn't put it past Besiktas to take their time on this. They have those Molotovs. They've got plenty of time to be able to play it out and die. A bit of a crouch under from Petra. Doesn't get the shot back either, but has her life and has the angle now. So step by step, they push CLG Red further back, further away from the information. We need Emmy to start turning up here because she has been a quiet gamer so far. Her performance normally is pretty paramount. 1 kill, that ain't it. That is not it for her. Bomb down by Spawn. Giuliano's going to go recover that one. Die, forced play on the back towards CT. Arch spots out another smoke goes in. They are painting a picture of an A hit right here, but look at where that bomb's going. They are selling him on this one. Misa close by, going to be going in contact style. There's a smoke just a little further ahead. And again, it's Jennifer back to the wall sort of gaming. Good for 1-2, no third to be found. But this is finally a chance maybe for CLG Red to play back into this.
Yeah, it's still not an easy retake, though. You might be 4-on-3. You might have the advantage in terms of manpower, but this bomb ticking away. It is CLG Red on the clock. They don't have the time to work with. They have to get into this bomb site. Start to eliminate some of these players, and they will. The Molotov burning out Giuliano. Now Petra last alive out in the open. Die will catch her. CLG Red only losing one in that retake. They finally get their first round on the board after a long drought for the CT side.
It really has been. Finally be able to get up from the double AWP might help them. That could be what they were waiting for, to be able to bring that out. But I've got to say, they fell for the fake, though. They fell for that A hit, and you can't blame them. The amount of pressure coming through was huge. That was so much presence being put towards A that they kind of just went towards it like it's got to be here. But a really nice switch up from Besiktas. And really, Jennifer being able to dig 2 out of that situation was massive.
Hopefully this is some signs of life from CLG. Waking up a bit more and showing what they showed us back on Mirage. Mid-play. Kath will find Zaz from beyond the grave. Already players pushing up through short. Emmy's got to deliver. She'll get shut down, but Die doubles up. And now we're into the 2v2. The 2B players, it's Goose Breeder and Jennifer, left to try and retake this bomb site. No utility for the T's and plenty on the back of Goose Breeder.
They need something. Both these players are on the site. That's the curious part. No time to cross out. Maybe they didn't want to. Actually, though, that Molotov is really nice. And the flash to follow, very good. But now they're out of utility. Now it's time to go. They've got to be able to trade effectively into this one. Try and set each other up. That's Krasny finding Jen. And now the follow-up is just out of Goose Breeder. She's good for one. The second evades her. And so does the second round for CLG Red.
And you think that maybe Die has done enough. She gives it her all in that situation there, but it just isn't quite enough to put CLG Red in with a second round. And the harshest thing about that is now for CLG. You take a look at this purchase. They have the AWP, they have rifles, but Emmy's been relegated down to a shotgun. Jen's only on the FAMAS. Shotgun's going to try and play up in the apartment, take this close range fight. They throw Kath up onto the boost. And this is a bit more of a proactive stance from CLG. They're finally kind of scouting this map out. They've fallen for these A fakes, so they've been conditioned time and time again. Finally, we're seeing them, take some initiative here, try and push and prod and get information.
Not a bad idea. Giuliano being a little bit quieter this time, a little bit slower on pace. Not overly jumping in towards the apartment. Maybe just a nice little read from her, maybe feeling they're going to try and start finding an answer to that, and they certainly have done that. The double stack towards Boiler could be undone here. Die's keeping it safe for now. Here comes that first peek. Nice angle for Die. No follow-up, no trade back in. AWP now being picked up by Giuliano, picking that one up, goes back in on it. Doesn't get it either. Die still stands, still holds the line. 45 seconds. Is there going to be another peek? No. She's going to fall away and find a new angle. Nice idea, smart idea. Leaving these two, though, in a bit of a predicament. They have to find the right way to play. And oh my God, Emmy. They're all next to her. They're all in that smoke.
Yeah, she doesn't know it, but she's rubbing shoulders with the enemy. Auto shotgun up close, and this is the perfect range. More players coming through, and as she swaps out to the AK, she'll fall. But it's Kath, the unknown quantity, the X Factor, rearing ahead from short. And now Misa finds herself alone. Her teammates' bodies heaped around her in the bomb site. 1v4, and Die shutting her down. CLG Red maybe starting to find their footing a bit here in the CT half.
Look, I'm not going to be, there's no point sugarcoating anything here. They need the rest of these rounds. It's not like you're going to see a slouching side from Besiktas on their CT side. I would say Besiktas' T sides are incredibly strong, though. I would say that's probably maybe their strongest suit. When they get that freedom to play, that's where they really come alive. We saw it in some of the previous games, but still, they need more on the board for CLG Red. They need that wiggle room, and we do see a bit of pressure towards Bernard to start off with, more than we've seen before. Jennifer trying to stay out there. Good damage with the utility. Kath, though, gets outdone, maybe getting a little bit too greedy towards those apartments. Gets punished after being so good in that last round.
I mean, now for CLG, one of the things that kind of worked, was that kind of hand they showed early on in mid, right? Just to repel any attempt of an offensive there from this T side. And now, being 4 on 5, they are actually going to keep hunting for it. Oh, Die misses that shot. We'll go back for it. Now decides get out of mid. Emmy getting caught up in the apartments. Dai might get followed up onto here. No, she will shut down Giuliano, but Petra immediately able to get that trade. CLG Red 2v4 once again, a retake into this A bomb site. And I feel like I'm having deja vu in the majority of these rounds.
Last time it was a 2v2 and it still went Besiktas' way. And I think they've learned better of this now. They need to find an answer here. The aggression towards the apartments worked for a little bit. They had a couple of bits of success there, but the answer back has been vicious from Besiktas.
And it almost feels like how their Vertigo CT side went, which is just, it's very, very rigid, right? And there's not really a lot of change that we're seeing here. We always have some variation of either the players from A having to just save or the players from B. There's no real clue as to where the Ts are going until they've got there, right? You have no way of getting that information if you're CLG, because they're not really looking for it. You know, think about how many times you see teams set up AWPers, for example, down on Banana, try and take the early peek, or maybe you go for the smoke down Banana. CLG were doing that themselves early on. And then if you maybe set an AWP up on the half wall, that at least allows you to spot if it is that A fake. You can have 4 players inside of the A bomb site to make up for it. But it has just been this constant 2-3 default between the B and the A bomb site, and we've seen very little innovation on that. But finally, Dai's going to turn her attention towards Banana. Uh-oh.
Wait,
they've gone running by her. Dai, she could do a hell of a lot right now, but it's actually Jennifer stealing the show. Get away from B, because that belongs to CLG Red. They finally try and take some aggression, and it all comes up CLG in that round.
They must have, like, the flashes must have popped at the perfect time when Diane shot that AWP, because they had no idea. Jen just had, you know, perfect information being called through because you literally had someone in enemy lines. That's baffling to me, but Besiktas still have a big lead, but the money's kind of been subdued here, down to pistols. If you want CLG to kind of build off this, you're going to want to see at least, you know, a clean round out of this. You don't want to be seeing bomb plants or any of that nonsense. You want all of it to be going their way. Maybe this is when they can claw a couple of rounds back, but Besiktas overall, their T-side has looked so well constructed, so well made. And a little set piece to kind of let them play up towards middle. 4 players here, though, for the CT side. Emmy tucked in towards the site. Caf gonna make their approach a little bit trickier with that smoke. That's not good, though. Emmy goes down. Caf stands and delivers. Good work from Caf there. Emmy did get 2 before falling, so they did hold the site well enough.
And that round there, they set up a player over at Banana, boosting up on top of the half wall, and then that allowed for the 4 stack in that A bomb site. So even as those pistols get into the closer ranges, even as they start to churn through the players inside of the site, there's just so many bodies there for CLG that it almost becomes a bit of an unlosable round. So purchase back in from the T side. Emmy's rushing straight down mid. She's got the team with her. Dai opens up. This is the confidence we were missing out on. And they're using Dai like a scalpel with surgical precision. She is picking this T side apart.
Where has this CLG Red just come from? Besiktas had all of the cards. They were just leading this game. And then suddenly, you got 2 players down middle. Giuliano, Misa, Grasty left alive to try and pull something here. Maybe try and get a player back. If they can get a 3v3, it's game back on. It's always going to be tricky for the red side. The CLG team going to have to try and kind of hazard a guess as to where they might try and go towards. That's where you've got that one player, Jen, sitting on highway, ready to jump between sites, depending on where that pressure's coming from. And as that last bit of smoke gets put up by Goose, Jen has to be aware of that she's out of utility now. That it becomes very tough to hold this. And a bit of a misread, maybe a feeling here from Jen. She kind of lingered towards A a little bit more. And it will be that B hit coming through, slow and steady. But look at that utility left on the Ts. They have everything still to play with. Smokes, mollies, the complete lot. And no signals given. Goose is suddenly going to be in for a bit of a shock here. Call going to be made. I need some help. They are coming towards this site right about now. There goes the smokes. Here come the flashes. Jen is there, but the site is lost.
Oh, she's flashing through. Goosebreed is going to try and take this peek. And she'll go running through this smoke. Surely they don't expect this, and that's the bomb dropped out in the open. It can be retrieved, and it should look to go down for 15 seconds.
Oh,
Giuliano pushing through T-spawn. Missed shot from Dai, and it's all falling apart. Jennifer's gone. And Besiktas, they'll find themselves a 10th round. A massive play. Giuliano pushing a smoke of her own.
That was crazy from Giuliano. What ballsy play. You saw it from Goose, and she was like, all right, I see what you've done. Let me do it better. And Dai was just not ready for that sort of play to come out. That was nuts from Giuliano. That's the danger of having a player like that. CLG desperate for this final round now of the first half here in the final map. I couldn't think of a better way to see it. All 3 maps. I'm hoping it goes all the way. Goose Breed is going for a walkabout here. That Molotov just being instantly extinguished. And Petra's Deagle finding Dai.
Yeah, I mean, that is just horrific. But it is at least equalized back into a 4-on-4. And that's courtesy of Goose Breeder. Emmy's trying to lock down mid, swinging a little wide to try and catch Petra, and that allows the trade from Krasi. Misa knows she's got both players trapped here, and she's able to delete both of them.
Kath knew there was a time limit on that, and she lost out on it, and that is a big recovery there. Those last 2 rounds really powering forward the Besiktas side, but a moment of breath before we head into that second half. We're going to take a second. A couple of rounds stand between these 2 teams now, and starting their own legacy to start a way to really pave that progression in the scene. This is the battle, the war lays ahead, and we have one more half to be played. Besiktas with 11 rounds looming over CLG Red's 4, and this is an aggressive start.
Yeah, straight down mid. They're taking these gunfights, and maybe they'll come to regret that. Actually losing Petra early. Giuliano's in danger of getting caught out over at top Banana, but a couple of nice shots might get her out of danger. Only one, Emmy, getting that trade, and on the back of it, B is now open for business.
Smoke going up, cross coming in, bomb should be going down. Zaz, Misa, all heading over that way. Still time to be had here. Still danger to be seen. Kit as well on one of the players. This could still be game on here. Kath holding back by Emo. Flash goes in, and it's a play off the back of it. Gonna be good for a 2-for-1 trade out, leaving just one player standing. This looks like the building blocks for recovery for CLG Red, and there it is. First step in the right direction for the North American side to find an avenue back, but there's gonna be danger aplenty. Besiktas, they will never be afraid to throw a curveball out, go for a crazy investment here or there just to try and hinder that progress.
Oh, and you look at this investment from CLG, 3 SMGs in this round. Now, they do have lots of utility as a result, but it's worrying. All it takes is a few of these pistols to find success, and things could go very dicey for CLG. Giuliano trying to leave Banana. She's actually keen on fighting a bit more. Yeah, we'll decide best for her health if she backs away. CLG Red, they just apply the brakes. They've shown a bit of presence over here towards Banana. They've shown that this is an area of the map that they're contesting initially, just establishing this default and not allowing the CT side to be probing anywhere behind enemy lines.
Now, Misa might have got a bit of a misread there. They did go for that late look back down Banana, kind of safely, but she's just peeking the corner. There are 3 players there. Giuliano already started to head over towards A. Goosebreed is selling a bit of a fake here. Does just leap into the loving arms of the player towards Apps. Bomb is yet to be collected, and Kath will be gifted that job. It looks like they're kind of losing out a little bit of that momentum here. I'm a bit worried.
Yeah, no, this is really starting to look like one of these anti-eco rounds where you start to doubt yourself, you start to get in your own head a bit. They slowed down at first just to make sure that no one was pushing, no one was going to catch them out of position. But then upon losing Goosebreeder, you saw those moments of hesitation. And now they're going to try and hit A. Once again, 3 players here, lying in wait. Die up through short, leading the charge. Footsteps will be heard. Flash into the bomb site, and she finds one. Down in the pit, Crassy falls. Petra.
Oh, Petra, not again.
Yeah, we remember this Deeg. We remember the Deeg inside of the A bomb site. She will hold off for the time being. Wait for these rotations from the rest of her team.
After plant position will be Kath on site, Die towards pit. Up on the bike, has a look over, gonna be watching quad. Still danger aplenty. It's all on Die now. Here comes the retake, here comes the pressure. Up towards Graveyard they go, and Die has to pick her poison here. Giuliano just looming above. What a shot! But the smoke on the plant. She's not on it yet. Petra is toying with Diane. And now the defuse surely gonna be coming in. Oh, Diane! Cometh the hour, cometh the player. That's what you needed.
Oh my word. What was that? What was that second shot? Like the flick? Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, I have goosebumps. Look, that one, it's like, oh, you get a bit worried, but then boom, okay, all right, yeah, sure. Wow, a CLG Red, a 6th round, and what a way to get it. If that hasn't built Dai's confidence up even more, I don't know what will.
Okay, let's look at the buy again, bring it back down, because again, it's just SMGs galore. CLG Red just running and gunning. Pistols on the other side. Crassy still doing some real damage. Again, I'd say she is still such an unknown quantity and just a real danger on any round. You've seen her really delivering. They've kind of put her up on armor as well. They believed in her there, gone for the investment on that. Emmy taking the fight towards Banana gives success and will alleviate that additional rotate that Misa was considering going to. They do only have P250s, so they do need to be careful not to be found one by one. That ain't great from Goosebreeder to be able to be isolated like that.
Yeah, and now Crassy, I mean, she's got an armor P250, right? You're already running into a MAC-10 and this AK. If Misa could even get away with a bit more damage, this round it is doable, and you're going to throw everything you've got at it because you're buying next round anyway. Even if you get out of this round, just killing one extra player, it's all planning for the future. It's putting those foundations down to build upon. Jennifer over on the pillar. Die waiting back on Banana. The MAC-10 at Banana. Definitely not ideal, but Jennifer is just going to alleviate all that pressure. 7-11 now.
Game on. We finally got a big game. This is the round that will tell us if it is going to be a close one or not, though. Besiktas win this. You see that build coming in 12 rounds. It starts to look a little bit trickier to close it out. We do see AWPs up on both sides. Dai's got hers, Petra's got hers. Petra can be such a nuisance and a good spawn to boot. That could be really tricky, and I wonder if she's going to take it, if she runs with this. And if she does, there could be death on the other side. Nothing instantly off the back. A little bit of a trade out. Lots of Banana presence, though.
Yeah, CLG, they just brute force Besiktas off of this position immediately. They try and contest it initially, but with that much utility raining in, it might not matter. The gap in the smoke gives up a kill the way of Giuliano. 4-on-5, CLG Red, the first rifle on rifle round they've had in this T-half, and they're going to have to go into it 4-on-5, and Goosebreeder even relegated down to a MAC-10, definitely less than ideal. Important to note as well, once again, she's away from the squad. She's over in the apartments. I'm curious if this is going to end up being an A play. I hope it isn't, that they rejoin Goosebreeder here. But she has been that lurk player. She has always been the lone wolf apart from the squad. But I'm imagining they're going to, because these A-lurks from Goose Breeder have not been yielding too many results for CLG.
No, and you can see the double stack still in pit. That's what makes me worry. You still have Zaz up by the car. I think it is Zaz, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Zaz is still there, and Petra's still over by Library. They've pulled no one away, and they don't have that much utility now to play with. I guess they still got enough smokes they can really piece something together. But it's going to come down here to hitting these shots pretty much. And Zaz actually moving up out of position a little bit here, moving a little bit forward towards quad, maybe going to try and play into it. Good flash, Petra. It's time to deliver, and she does. Die goes down, and Petra under pressure, going to have to fall back from this. That was from Apartments, but she's read it well, and the pinch comes in, but they can't catch Petra on the run.
Yeah, she's just darting around, dodging the bullets. Finally, Petra gets deleted, but Zaz and Krasi, they emerge, and you deal with one, but multiple heads grow back of this beast, 12-7. And now, I mean, you mentioned this could be the building blocks for Besiktas just to get back into this and start closing it out once again, and that's all going to come off the back of how much damage was done in that second and third round in the anti-ecos from CLG, right? In the second round, they had one player survive. In the third, they had 2. Those are a fairly dismal kind of like survival rate, right, within this squad. It doesn't feel like you got a long life expectancy if you're a CLG Red player right now.
No, it's not. An intense pause for CLG Red. The predicament they're in isn't a fun one. They've got very low money, so it feels like 13 rounds will be inevitable for Besiktas. For Besiktas, that was the big step up in this half, right? That was the round we were talking about and why it's so important. Because it gets you the money, it gets you the build, and it puts their economy down right towards the floor. So they've gone for a bit of a lighter investment, a couple of pistol upgrades, and a very limited amount of utility. Maybe an Apps play off the back, but Petra's probably going to spot this. I think that's going to be a call out. Yep, definitely calling that out to the team so they can adjust accordingly. And CLG Red can fall off this again. There's no big hurry. They're just probably playing for a plant and a couple of picks, try and get some guns away, do something.
Yeah, I mean, really anything they can take out or find in this round is a victory in and of itself. They don't have really anything to work with. The Besiktas, this is really a time that they just want to be keeping this clean. If they can keep 4 or 5 players alive at this point in the game, that is massive. So they've really got an opportunity to set themselves up very, very nicely to close this out. And
nice flash.
Flash will go in. It does blind everyone, but no kills to follow up. They do manage to actually deal with Misa. Oh, and Giuliano. Uh-oh, the B bomb site's gone. Jennifer through the smoke, gonna get another. And B now overrun by CLG. Petra and Krasi, what's going on? Jennifer, there's a smoke there.
What are in those
doing more
glasses,
damage.
Jen? Someone needs to check those glasses right about now. She can see things we can't. I'm kidding. But the retake going to be considered. And now the bounce from the mollies here have been real rough. They've been going some curious places. Jen moved away from the old new box, and Goose Breeder kind of lingering around Banana. Might just take a swing on this with that P250. Why not? And there it is. What a round from CLG Red to pull it back. I'm surprised they got away with that. I think, again, Jen's deagling, it gives them a bit of an edge that I didn't expect them to have. I hope we get to see that here. Yeah, there's that first. Just didn't even see him. Instantly beelines towards the box. Just like, I know you're there. But that was just, you know, call it luck, call it skill, call it what you want. It's a round on the board. Besiktas probably pretty frustrated at that. And I would be too, because you just got done by a deagle.
Yeah, I'm honestly lost for words.
Almost falling out of my chair at this point.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you are just gobsmacked. And I mean, I am as well. Jennifer, if she can get back in that sort of form and just keep delivering in these rounds, keep creating space, you know, doesn't need to get 3 every round by any stretch, but yeah, if we can see her have her resurgence as well, start to move up the board and get into a sort of position alongside Cat and Guy, that might be great. And Guy in this round going to pad those stats out even further with 2 kills over in mid.
Yeah, it did lose out on Emmy, which, again, you want to keep as many of the guns in the game as you can. Nice little try from Besiktas. I like those kind of quirkier plays. Try and pull off something a little bit naughty with it. Just, you know, try and get a gun away, try and make it costly, try and find a way in. And now they don't check on top of the box all that quickly, but they adjust well enough. The spray is not good enough to beat Giuliano. Let's see if she can take this even further. P250 looks damn deadly in her hands. Falling back on the deeper angle, finally gets outdone, but the damage has been done here. Zaz, what does she have? Is that just... It's just a P250. I was hoping maybe a deagle or something. This becomes very tough, but these are very costly rounds. These are not clean, considering the situation they had, the utility, the guns. Zaz suddenly kind of possesses a little bit of a threat, but put to bed, quelled. And we're getting to a closer scoreline here. Now, the money is still in a bad spot overall for Besiktas, but they can get a good buy here at least. That's what they're looking at. A decent purchase. It's game back on. Both teams on a good buy here. Now, we don't see the AWP coming out for Besiktas yet, but Diane's got hers. But I don't know what they can do with this. I've got to feel that consistently Besiktas have been doing the right things, but CLG Red have just pulled off some magical moments.
Yeah, they really have. And Besiktas had that huge lead that they once had. That 11-4 half now feels like a distant memory. CLG, they're here, and they're not messing around. This is now anyone's game, but Misa...
Nice flashes.
She's wanted it to be a Besiktas game, set up by Crazy.
Really nice banana control from Besiktas. Worth its weight in gold at that moment, taking down Jen. Good scalp to be claiming too, and nullifying the amount of utility that's left with CLG Red. They're going to have to work with what they've got. Might be a little bit of a set piece, or at least a look of a set piece towards A, because that bomb's so far behind, they can't really hit off this smoke even if the timing's right. Going to pull some of that utility away from the CT side, draw out their coffer of all their goods. Petra still boosted up towards quad is going to be a real nuisance to get past.
Molotov goes in. It's from a very high angle, so yeah, I wonder. I think Kath was pretty aware there was a player boosted there. Still, Petra able to win that fight. One by one, CLG Red, their numbers are dwindling. Once again, it's going to have to be a massive individual effort from these three remaining players, and Die, she has not been short of magic moments here in Valencia. Creeping round through long now. Zaz pouncing from down within the pit. Petra spotted out in the open, but Die can't find it. And Besiktas, they're onto a 13th.
This is the danger. After such a strong half, Besiktas only have to wait for CLG Red to make a couple of mistakes and brutalize them for it. Let's watch this one back. I think this was from the pit with Zaz here. Nice on the first. And so much patience, and the adjustment on the second's lovely. Emmy, yet to make that big impression. I was still waiting to see more from Emmy and Goosebreeder, and they've not done it. Kath has stepped up. I called out for Kath, and she did stand and deliver. I need to see more from these other players.
And it's so weird, because coming into this, you know, we were painting Besiktas as like this team where there was a time where they did just rely on firepower, where they were pretty unpredictable, but it was largely just because they were so good individually. And in a way, that was kind of what bigged them up, but it was also their downfall, you know, like they didn't have that bank of strats to fall back on. Here, it's a much more team-based affair, and it's actually CLG, the team that we were praising for all kind of being, you know, always close together, always fragging within the same kind of realm. Right now, you're kind of relying on just this hard three-player carry to keep you in this game, and it feels so crushing that it's at this point in the event, in the grand final, in map 3, that these cracks have started to show. They've withered the storm thus far, though. Looking to continue that. Aggression into the apartments here. Goosebreeder creeping forward. Looking for the player over on balcony. Once again, this setup with Zaz down by the hay bales, and this double pit setup has been a real nuisance for CLG to try and contend with, but they might have to give it another shot here in this round.
So hard to crack. It's just the perfect natural crossfire that comes in, and Petra has not been letting down that CT arch hold. Even if she falls all the way back, she can still have so much presence here. It's a little bit of a smoke coming in. Petra's going to actually move up on that, kind of play that no man's land. I like this. It's brave. It's a bit bold. Flashed up, falling away. Does get away with her life. No, being chased out by Emmy. Leaps on the corner. This is a wrap towards B. Look at the two players over here. Giuliano and Misa over the back of the site, though. Quick play from Zaz, pegging it right down towards Banana. She's on a bit of a test. She's running as fast as she can. Both these players playing by the box to be forced out by the molly. Good damage on the way out. Misa burns alive. The T-side hold numbers, but Zaz is the knife in the back, looking like she wants to be the assassin of all the hopes and dreams of CLG Red. Down to a 2v2 now, and it's game back on. Goosebreeder putting it all in the hands of Kath.
And now the rest of the team just having to sit back. It's Kath who's been so good in these clutches, peeking wide, but Zaz delivers in spades. 4 kills on the retake were required, and she gets all of them.
Everything looked good for CLG Red. They had the sight, they had the plant, but they didn't expect that knife in the back from Zaz. So well timed, so well played. This fight from Goosebreeder that comes up, I was a little surprised she went for that completely untradeable, maybe just feeling confident trying to just swing out on it, but those sort of errors have put CLG Red staring down the barrel of a gun.
Yeah, I mean, you imagine if you're Goosebreeder there, you're going to be feeling pretty down after that round. The camera even briefly cut back to this CLG Red squad, and you could see how disheartened everybody looked. This round here, they've gone for the investment. They're not looking to play for overtime. They still have a bit of money on Jennifer and Kath. This one solitary AK really does have to step up, and it's already been dropped.
I think it could be recoverable. Kath can get that back into hand, or at least a gun back into hand. But you haven't got any step towards a site. I guess you got the 1v1 towards B, but Giuliano, she kind of supersedes as being one player at this point. She can be such a pain to get past. Really holding her ground here. Not going to fall away from card just yet either. Goosebreeder trying to get some shots there, but nothing going to come through from it. Showing a lot of presence, maybe trying to keep her on her toes, but this play back towards A, not going to be easy to get past.
Especially not as they begin that rotation back towards B. That's Misa inside of this bomb site, and actually the rotation from Giuliano not only gets all the information, but she's completely blindsided CLG. They've taken so long to hit the bomb site that she's just been allowed to come into the back line and tear them apart. 20 seconds, and Kath, she tried to dart down towards Banana. Now just 15 seconds left. She's got to commit to A if she wants to go for this. She's still creeping forward. She still looks interested, but surely there's absolutely no way, and indeed there's not. Map Series Championship point for Besiktas now locked in. And 6 rounds in a row required from CLG Red if they want to take this through to overtime.
CLG Red have had a brutal route to this, but Besiktas showing their pedigree, their class, their ability to dig deep when it matters. And Kath trying to lead the charge here. Giuliano up for the fight. They all line up, and Giuliano almost takes them down. Right into the molly she goes, but extinguished for a second. She's in danger. Got to move back from this, but while this happens, Zaz is already down middle. This looks like it might be over. We might know our winner unless Jennifer and Emmy can somehow combine into something incredible, and Jen is not done yet.
Yeah, they're putting up kills. They retrieved the bomb, and now you can see the penny kind of drops for the CTs. Like, we have to rotate a player back towards A. That's still very much a potential. There's so much time left. And CLG Red, they're just going to let that marinate for a minute. They're just going to let that set in. Give Besiktas some time to build up some doubt here, get in their own heads. It's worked somewhat.
Paranoia building. That's what you want. That little bit of doubt. Smoke goes in, Giuliano's attention instantly turns right back towards it, but it's not Giuliano to be the one on the site. Mr. goes down. It's still a 2v2 here. Double or retake, it ain't gonna be easy. But Giuliano's there. Giuliano's really close towards this. High flash gonna slow her down, keep her back, gives away the game on her position. The next player, Petra, going up long.
Yeah, and they're just waiting now to rendezvous with one another, with both players trapped back in emote. You're likely gonna have to try and play this like a bait and switch. Maybe you swing a player wide, and there's Jennifer going down. Now Emmy, will they expect her to be sat here? She emerges, but she gets dropped. And that's CLG dropping this round. Besiktas, they pick up the win, 16-9. They take the title here, and they will be going on to Rotterdam as well. What a performance from them, a spectacle throughout. Lauren, I'm lost for words.
I feel exactly the same way, and I couldn't think of a better final to have. CLG Red played with their heart on their sleeve, and that's how you get a broken heart sometimes. But coming into this, we've seen the highs and lows of this side throughout so many different variations of their rosters. And you've got to say, when they came back together, they've been working so hard, and you can see that in every aspect of their gameplay. They have grafted, they have grinded this one out, and I cannot think of a better representative to take the female team from the DreamHack Showdown in towards the DreamHack Open, to carry the banner of all the other teams forward that have fallen in this tournament. This is their moment to shine. That is what they have done.
And you can see how much it means to each and every one of them. CLG on the other side, I think, so deflated. They played phenomenally throughout. Both of these teams should not be disappointed with how this went. And I mean, just what a show we got to witness. Me and you were so excited, sat back here. The crowd were excited. The players were excited. You could feel so much energy in this room. And there's still a lot of love between these girls up on stage right now, but it is all about Besiktas. They take that victory, and dominantly so.
I think the moment is now. You can see them waiting, and they deserve this moment. Years in the making for this team. It's going to be Besiktas, your DreamHack Valencia Showdown champions.
What a beautiful sight that is. When we spoke to Giuliano, she said that they have been practicing so hard for this very moment, and they have made it a reality. Besiktas are the DreamHack Showdown champions, and I have to say, guys, after watching the performance this weekend, they truly deserve it.
They absolutely do. I mean, showing up on Inferno after getting so devastated after that Mirage loss 16-5, and such a dominant half, first half, second half, all around, every individual stepping up from that Besiktas side of things. It was beautiful to watch.
And I especially loved how, when it came down to it, it was the old guard. Zaz, Giuliano, huge rounds, huge moments. I take her name. There she is in tears. This means so much to them. And it just means to everyone. You can see CLG crushed, and you can see these ladies so very happy. And I think we have our champions, not just champions, but the very fitting ones.
Being able to become champions again after so long, I have to remind everyone who may not realize, these are the girls that were at the top years ago. From 2015 to 2017, they were absolutely uncontested, but it's been over 2 years, and they've been grinding and trying so hard during that period to try to get back on top. And so finally, the pieces are fitting, Potter.
They definitely are, and it's so nice to watch players like Krasi, who joined this lineup earlier in this year, even late towards last year, and seeing her develop into such a solid player. I mean, how many times do we talk about Krasi? How many times do we talk about all her impactful multi-kills? And she just kept it up all the way through these grand finals.
And I think the really cool thing is the way they've come back as champions, the way they've reconquered the throne, taken back the crown, so to speak, is not just the old guard trying to... It was almost Juliana and Zaz, the best two players, the legends in the game, right? But love the fact that Krasi and Petra, they were the revelation this tournament, and they were the reason that these ladies are right now the champions.
They definitely were, and you speaking about that old guard, it keeps reminding me of a round where Zaz, it was in the 25th round, Zainab, she went towards that banana, and she was able to recover a 2 versus 4 deficit with so many multi-kills. Of course, that was off the mistakes of CLG Red members, but being able to capitalize on those mistakes and pushing through to the end, that's what really matters.
Oh, absolutely, and that's when the veterancy, so to speak, of these players shine through, right? Again, CLG Red played phenomenally well, but in front of that CD side, there were many questionable decisions made, especially in the B bomb side. Fine, he lost the bomb side. Go for the retake. You have the utility, you have the man advantage. Instead, the time and time again, it felt like Goose Reader, for example. It could have been Diane calling or whatever, but you're pushing through smokes, going for unnecessary fights, just delaying the bomb plant for no reason whatsoever. And I kind of felt they lost that final map solely based on the CD side.
I have to agree with you. I mean, throughout this tournament, we did see glimpses of that sloppiness and glimpses of those I think I can moments, and this time around, it really did not pay off for CLG Red.
Well, guys, Besiktas are the champions, and I am fortunate enough to be joined by them. So first of all, a huge congratulations, ladies. You guys have fought so hard. Such an impressive performance over the past 3 days, dropping only 1 map, and now you guys are the champions. I mean, Giuliano, when I spoke to you earlier, you told me about how you have been practicing so hard for this very moment. So how does it feel to have all of that hard work finally pay off with this win?
I don't know, I'm so overwhelmed. Like, we worked so hard and really wanted to prove that we can do it, because everyone's been doubting us except us and our org and all our fans. But the rest of the world, we just feel like we want to prove that we are still here for the fight, you know, and all this hard work is just paying off. I'm so happy, like, I know. Yeah.
I certainly agree with you, and I feel like your journey specifically is special in that you have been on top before, but to have been on top and to climb back to that position once again is a very, very difficult thing to do. So talk to us a little bit about what you had to do to get this team to be champions once again.
Well, it's not all on me,
Of course.
first of all. But yeah, when we started this team earlier this year, we set one goal, and that is to everyone to have the same vision and listen to each other and have the same idea of how to play the game and be humble to each other and, you know, learn and improve. And I feel like this is the first time we have like a full lineup where everyone wants, like, since my start of the career, everybody wants the same thing and we're all going for the same idea, you know, and I'm just so happy to share it with them, I swear, like, yeah.
It's such a special moment that I'm witnessing, and of course, guys, your journey does not stop here. This is special not just because you get to lift this trophy, but because now with this win, you're moving forward to Rotterdam, and you're gonna have this super awesome opportunity to compete at DreamHack Open in Rotterdam. So tell us, what does that moment mean for you guys?
A lot. We will have to practice really hard because we're gonna have some tough competition. But we will do everything we can, yeah.
And of course, this event here at DreamHack in Valencia has a $100,000 prize pool. That is absolutely massive for the scene, for all the women who have been practicing and competing for years after years. So tell us, what does that mean for you guys to be able to participate in an event like this? What does it mean for you guys to be able to participate in an event like this with such a large prize pool, with DreamHack backing it, Zowie backing it, esports management backing it?
Yeah, I think everyone is really thrilled to play this tournament. It's so well organized and so relaxed to play. And I'm pretty sure it's one of the best tournaments we ever had. And I hope there will be more events coming up.
And last but not least, I really want to give you guys a chance to say something to the fans who have been following your guys' careers over the past several years. What do you have to say to them?
We had so much support from all the Besiktas fans and everyone around, family, friends, and I'm pretty sure everyone is proud of us. And without them, we wouldn't have made it because the energy they give us is pretty insane.
Well, it's truly, truly inspirational. I want to say congratulations, but we do have one last surprise for you guys. So Potter, wherever you are, please bring out the championship rose.
Congratulations! Here you go.
So please give us a fashion show. Put them on. Show us what it looks like.
You guys are boxers now. Are you ready for this? Oh wait, I handed one to the coach and I think I'm missing one. I'm sorry. I don't think I have 6. Here you go. Here you are.
All right, once everyone has put it on, I want you guys to get in camera view. Line up right here for us.
Oh my goodness. Misa's melting into the robe.
Awesome. What do you guys think?
Amazing.
Congratulations, ladies.
Awesome. And of course, one last thing we need to note is that the tournament MVP is Petra. So a huge shout out to you. You've had an absolutely stunning performance all the days that you've been here, so huge congratulations. It was absolutely inspiring to watch you map after map, and all of you ladies are honestly so, so inspiring to everyone watching. So thank you guys so much for the hard work you've put in. It's paid off. You're champions, but it doesn't stop here. I'm gonna be rooting for you guys in Rotterdam, so thank you guys so, so much. I'm gonna say bye to you guys here. You have a lot to celebrate tonight. I'll see you later tonight. See you later.
Wow. Whispers tequila as she's walking away.
For you,
that
Zaz,
is perfect.
Tequila any day and any night. But wow, guys, we have so much to digest. Blair, please come over here and join us. What a grand finals that was. We finally got the 3 maps that we've so badly been wanting. And that Inferno, though it did start off a little bit one-sided in that first half, it got a much dicier in that
and
second half.
It was so cool to see Diane stepping up to the plate, right? Yeah, and we've been talking all the younger players, so to speak, like Jennifer having a breakout tournament. She was still the highest rated player in the entire tournament. Unfortunately, you need to win it to be crowned the MVP. That's the unfortunate part of the thing. Kath as well, such great plays from him. It's kind of heartbreaking, but I love how Zaz really stepped it up in that final map. We also had Diane bring it. It was kind of like the old guard facing off against each other, just trying to get that crown back. The better team won, and that's just unfortunate though.
The better team indeed. Besiktas does take that trophy, and of course, to wrap up the day, we do have our top 5 plays, so let's take a look at all the highlights of the day.
Starting off things strong here, this is Milk, and this was a little bit earlier on in the tournament. We spoke about this 4K and how impressive it was because it was so spread out on the map, and it was her movements, her decision-making, and her reactions that really allowed her to get these 4 kills.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Milk in the future because she has such raw mechanical skill. It just had a little bit of maturity lacking, and that comes with playing more tournaments. We saw that happen in the map in the game they lost, but I loved watching her play, especially on those entries.
Definitely so, and this is GFI on Team Orange. I mean, she started off this round with just the Deagle, managed to pick up an AWP and clean up 2 more kills after this. This was one of the most impressive rounds within this tournament specifically.
Yeah, speaking of the Asian teams, they did really struggle, but she was the one shining light in those 2 teams. And of course, Petra, this is the moment she showed that she had arrived at this tournament.
And it was so early on in the tournament as well, in their first map. I mean, this was such a pivotal moment within this match as well. I mean, they were so desperate. They didn't have any more money left in the tank, but Petra comes out of nowhere with these 3 Deagle kills.
And then, of course, number 2 is the clutch. This was so well played. Claudia, unfortunately, not able to reach the finals, but this was played to absolute perfection. A 1v4, and she nails it.
She does nail it indeed, and I mean, specifically the second kill behind this bench. I mean, getting that little pixel of a headshot was so incredible.
And number 1 will be, in my opinion, I think this is the player of the tournament, Crazy. She wasn't a top fragger. She wasn't like the highest rated player, but the number of clutch scenarios that she found herself in, and she won. And these are instrumental rounds, by the way. This round in particular just kind of sealed the deal on this particular map. And the crazy thing is she's 17 and playing with so much composure. I mean, I have a lot of like, what do you call it, like optimism for her, for her future, so to speak, yeah.
I think optimism is a great word to use because I think this entire weekend, as I've watched all of these teams play, all their hard work paying off, the moments where they're celebrating their victories, the moments where they're in pain because the loss means so much. It's really amazing and encouraging to see that, you know, the future of CS is bright with these young ladies, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for them.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. Oof, I'm getting
Paula looks like such a proud mommy, you know? And it's great to see. Honestly, I feel like this event in particular, it's kind of like the new guard taking charge, right? And I think that's a very crucial thing. You don't want the same old faces. You want a new breed of young girls who love the game, who are playing it. And trust me, some of the stuff I've seen today and yesterday was some really good Counter-Strike.
Well, of course, I do want to end this with a huge shout out to our partners, Esport Management and Zoe. Thank you guys so much. This weekend could not have been possible without your support and help. So it's been an absolute honor and privilege to be here throughout this journey, throughout this weekend. It's amazing to be able to crown the Besiktas as champions, as we'll be seeing them again in Rotterdam. But until then, from everyone here in Valencia, thank you guys so much for tuning in and have a wonderful night.
Can't be serious, can't be serious, can't be loose. We can choose to walk away. There's a choice we